Good day, Newsliners! Today, we are privileged to have with us the honeymoon pa ba stage 2 o 7th month na eh. The new commander of Task Force Davao, no less than Colonel Darren Evangelista Cumia. He used to be the commander of the 16th IB sa Paquibato District. So taga Paquibato, kaway-kaway naman. Sa akong pagbalik, ato siyang ilhon, kinsa siya. Ako si Edith Cadoaya, maayong adlaw.
Parami ng parami ang mga nagiging bagong Lotto millionaires. Dalawa rito ay multimillion jackpot prizes. Ang 246.08 million pesos sa Ultra Lotto 658 at ang 298.77 million pesos sa Grand Lotto 655. Ang bawat pagtangkilik sa larong may puso ay susi sa pangarap at pagtulong sa kapwa.
Thank you with all our hearts.
Malay mo, baka ikaw na ang dapuan ng swerte.
So balik din sa Newsline o akong kauban karon sa among one-on-one interview. The side of Colonel Cumia, the lighter side and the hardest side siguro, no? Sir, good day and welcome to Newsline.
Thank you very much, Edith. Thanks for having me here in Newsline. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
7th month mo, ano ba yung pinaka-significant na nagawa ni Colonel Darren Evangelista Cumia sa taong bayan ng Davao City? At bakit ba ikaw ang napupusuan? From Paquibato, you went down to Davao City. From the hinterlands to the urban center. What's the difference? Ano yung pinaka-striking sa'yo na ginawa mo po?
Well, for the past 7 months, wala pa tayong masasabi na may naibigay na sa Davao City. In fact, pinupunan lang natin ang konsepto ng culture of security na yung aking pinalitan naman ang siyang nag-isip nito at nag-initiate na may start. In fact, humahanap lang tayo ng mga gaps and we fill in that gaps. Pero may nakikita tayong mga kakulangan na doon tayo nagbubuhos ng atensyon natin. In fact, ang aking parating ginagawa is paratilatang tayong nakatingin sa ating tasking, sa ating mandato na to ensure the safety and security ng Davao City. Of course, may mga counting accomplishment but we can attribute that doon sa mga nauna sa atin, sa mga nauna na na-assign dito sa Task Force Davao, sa mga commanding officers na from the time of General Pangilinan hanggang kay Colonel Yekla, na sila mismo ang nagpundar at gumawa ng legacy. Tayo, sinusundan lang natin yung mga yapak nila. And of course, masasabi naman natin na natutuwa tayo dahil ang kanilang mga pagpapalaki, ang kanilang mga ginawa, nakakatulong kung ano ang Task Force Davao ngayon. Well, going back 2017 and 2018, we are very fortunate to be assigned dito sa Davao City, in particular sa Paquibato District. That was after the incident in Lapanday. We were then in the province of Sulu.
So from Sulu, nag-migrate ka to Davao region?
Well, ang 16th Infantry Battalion is a 2nd Infantry Division unit.
Is it a warrior battalion?
Something like that, if I may. It's because in 2016, we were reassigned from the province of Mindoro to Surigao del Sur.
So war-torn communities noon, ngayon parang peaceful na.
Yes.
Can we say that?
Well, I'm happy to inform everyone that because of the hardship, the hard work of our troops, the 16th Infantry Battalion, plus the stakeholders that who help us along the way, from Surigao del Sur to the province of Sulu to Paquibato District of Davao City and Davao del Norte, nagkaroon ng magandang accomplishment ang 16th Infantry Battalion sa mga panahon yon from 2016 to 2018. In fact, siguro tumanim sa kaisipan ng mga tao at ng LGU ng Davao City kung ano yung naipundar natin sa Paquibato District in particular. In fact, bago tayo umalis ng 16th Infantry Battalion, nakapaggawa tayo ng isang mini book wherein in-state natin doon kung ano yung Paquibato District before we arrive, ano yung mga interventions na ginawa natin, and what is Paquibato during that time na paalis ang inyong abang lingkod. In fact, during the turnover, ibinigay ko yon kay Mayor Inday Sara mismo, plus doon sa mga ibang stakeholders ng Davao del Norte and Paquibato District, and even to my commanding general during that time. So, ito siguro ang dahilan kung bakit tayo napabalik dito sa Davao City. Hindi ko akalain personally na mapapabalik pa ako dito sa Davao region, in particular sa Davao City. It's because after my stint as a battalion commander, na-assign ako sa 2nd Infantry Division as a G-Staff. Having been with the Office of the Civil Military Operations, G7, and the Office of Assistant Chief of Staff for Operations, G3. After that, I was designated as the Chief of Staff of the Civil Relations Service Armed Forces of the Philippines at Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo. It's in Manila, and I'm from Luzon. Practically, I'm having a good time there, giving the service to the Filipino people, and at the same time, with my family. Although it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to serve again Davao City, Davao region, and Davao City in particular, and I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm very one of the fortunate officers to head a prestigious
Post?
unit such as Task Force Davao.
Balikan ko lang, ano yung defining moment mo as a soldier? Paano mo? Kailan ka ba umusbong? Yung na-feel mo talaga na sundalo ako, I can lead, I can command, I have this acumen.
Well, when I was still young, after of course my graduation from the Philippine Military Academy, I happened to be assigned in one of the farthest detachment. In fact, ako po yung naglagay ng detachment doon sa Kalabugaw, sa Impasugong, Bukidnon,
Bukidnon.
sometime in 1995. And after that, naging company commander po ako sa San Fernando, Bukidnon. Itong mga areang ito ang nagbigay sa akin ng should I say, inspirasyon para matulungan ang mga kababayan natin na nakikita ko mismo personally ano ang kalalagayan nila during that time. And it's really fulfilling to notice na nagkakaroon ng malaking impact sa community yung mga ginagawa ng ating mga kasundalihan nung panahong yon. In fact, not only sa mga kasundaluhan, not only sa community, but sa kasundaluhan din. How to manage this group of people na iba't ibang kultura.
Was
I
there
am from
culture
Luzon.
shock ba? Luzon is different from Mindanao because Mindanao is porous.
Yes.
Was there culture shock, language barrier?
No, it just so happened that when I was still in the Philippine Military Academy, I had so many mixed up,
Multilingual.
yes, na Bisaya, and slowly nag-aaral na ako. Their culture, pinag-aaralan ko natin. And in fact, ako mismo nag-volunteer na magpa-assign dito sa Mindanao.
Bakit Mindanao?
Luzon, I haven't been in Mindanao in the first place.
So gusto mo
During
na?
that time, gusto ko ng
New world.
New World. Of course, gusto kong mai-impart sa taga Mindanao kung ano yung natutunan ko sa Philippine Military Academy. And matulungan. I believe during that time, Mindanao is so depressed, should I say?
Challenge.
So challenge na maraming threat, maraming yung mga opportunity nawawala. So I believe makakatulong ako kasama na aking mga misda na nag-graduate during that time na pag-assign namin dito sa Mindanao, nakatulong naman ng maayos, especially on the peace, security, and order doon sa mga lugar na na-assign na namin.
One last question for this segment. Usually, the commanders bring the family because the family is the strength, no? Ng isang, sabi nga na, in every man's success, a woman is behind. Dala mo ba yung family mo sa Davao?
No. We settled in Lipa City, Batangas. We are both from Batangas. nagsettle na kami sa Lipa ngayon. Preparing for my retirement, of course. And kailangan kasi sa trabaho natin, yung mga challenges brought about by the distance, family and myself, kailangan nating ma-overcome. It's because sa akin, hindi po pwede na mahahati yung focus of attention ko. When I go over with a job, I see to it na matatapos ko ng walang ibang iniisip kundi yung particular na ibinigay sa akin na task. So ang sa akin, kung mabibigyan ako ng pagkakataon na umuwi sa aking pamilya, that's the time na magpo-focus naman ako sa aking pamilya. So hindi ko tinitingnan yon as a challenge, but instead nai-inspire lalo ako. Well, of course, brought about by the advanced technology, madali lang naman yung communication ngayon. But the thing is, yung challenge na yon and how can you manage that challenge while doing your job sa Davao City, I think yun yung isang mga strength na po pwede kong sabihin na kaya natin na malagpasan itong mga challenge na ito.
Mahigal sa mong pagbalik. No? That was the light side of Colonel Darren Evangelista Comia. At ito sa marag harder gamay. Sa mong pagbalik.
Gusto ba mo og barato ug orihinal nga mga construction supply? Sa kadaghan sa imong pilian, all-in-one ang imong pagpamalit. Tara na sa 3M1 ug T-Square Lumber and Construction Supply na himutang sa daang Hardika, Lanao ug Dayo Street, Kidapawan City.
Balik tayo sa atong one-on-one interview kay Colonel Darrell Comenia Evangelista. Napaka-particular ko sa middle name kasi yung si nanay ang parating naiiwan sa achievement ng mga anak. So, napaka-particular ko. Nabanggit mo kanina na you can define professional relationship and personal relationship. And your men told me, purpose-oriented, napaka-stiff mo pagdating sa achieving the purpose, napakaluwang mo pagdating sa bibigyan ng moral yung mga tao. Gaano ba ka-depressed ang sitwasyon ng Davao? Bakit you need to come in every now and then, you need to fix all this, and you need to deliver this?
Well, when I arrived sa Davao City, after of course my designation as the Commander Task Force Davao, and when I scan the operational environment, hindi siya ganun ka-depressed, hindi siya ganun ka-challenge. It just so happened, mataas yung standard na isinet ng aking mga predecessors. So I have
So,
to...
mataas talaga.
Mataas siya.
Parang elite na siya.
Parang elite na siya, ganun. I have to, of course, challenge myself how to even probably at par with them, if not surpass them. Yun
So,
yung
surpass
challenge.
yung gusto ko.
Well, of course, it's pretty hard for me as of now.
7
to-
months.
with the short period of time, pretty hard for me to say that I can surpass. Probably, dun lang ako sa to be at par with those commanders, previous commanders. And I happen to scan the operational environment. And again, the challenge there is how to be at par with the rest of, or the former commanders of Task Force Davao. So, ang sa akin, I have to have a focus. Kailangan tayo may focus. Kung wala tayong focus sa ating mga pinagagawa, mahihirapan tayo. In fact, different maraming diverse yung culture dito sa Davao City. Napakaraming tao rito, coming from anywhere,
regions.
everywhere, different regions. Of course, notwithstanding the cultural diversity of my own troops, I have to manage that. So kung mawawala ako sa focus and malalighten up yung mga task na ibinibigay sa akin, I believe I cannot do yung mga sinasabi ko na may at par sa aking mga predecessors.
Can you say now ba na Colonel Comia is culturally sensitive?
Yes, it's because kung hindi ka culturally sensitive, you cannot, walang impact sa tao, sa environment, yung mga gagawin mo. You have to be culturally sensitive. In fact, kailangan yan yung kauna-unahan nating makita para nang sa ganon, grounded ka kaagad sa community. Grounded ka sa mga tao. Or else, mawawala ka. You have to learn their culture, you have to learn how they speak, you have to adapt to what kind of environment they have so that makapokus ka sa kung anong task, sa anong mandato na ibibigay sa'yo.
Surpassing your predecessors means walang tulugan. Surpassing your predecessors means you need to move every now and then. You need to show to Davao people that I deserve this cup, I deserve this seat. And what must be done? What is that?
Well, the walang tulugan thing, it's a challenge.
You sleep daw at 1 o'clock.
In fact, natutulog din naman ako.
Akala ko wala ulit na gabi-gabi.
Nagpapahinga rin naman ako. May mga times kasi na syempre physically, emotionally, psychologically exhausted ka. You need to rest. Or else, magbabag down ka. Pag nagbag down ka, hindi mo na mahaharap yung situation the following day. So, you need to prepare for the next day. In fact, kailangan natin ng rest. Sa mga pag-iikot ko sa buong downtown Davao City, may mga times na natutulog ako sa sasakyan. Yun yung ginagawa kong pagpapahinga. Para nang sa ganon, dadating man ako doon sa mga areas na gusto kong puntahan, well-rested ako, and fresh pa yung mind, yung thoughts, and yung mga bagay na po pwede kong gawin doon sa area na pupuntahan ko.
Being fresh means to you, the way you talked earlier, means you stay away from disruptions. You stay away from stressors. You stay away from things or activities which will make you parang emotional na ito. Ano ba yung composure dapat isang commander ng Task Force Davao? Do you need to strike the balance? You're saying, I need to strike the balance, I need to be, kung galit ako kay Borge, being a soldier, hindi ako galit sa kanya, being a personal. You can define the professional and the personal. When does the thin line start?
Well, stress is always there. In any profession, in anything that we do, there's always a stress. In fact, we have just to, we need to manage that stress. Defining that fine line is, of course, that's management. How to identify that fine line, that thin line that divides your job and
your person.
Yes. I believe it's a product of my experiences, long experiences in the service. I have been from the start a platoon leader, company commander, a staff, a commander. I rose from the rank, and from those experiences, I happened to see that thin line that divides who should be a commander, who should be that Colonel Kubiya, and in a should I say hard way, or should I say a very tough man, and who is that Colonel Kubiya in a lighter side. In fact, ang parati kong sinasabi sa mga kasamahan natin dito, if I may use the surname or the name of one of my staff, galit po ako kay Captain Louie Di Maala. Pero hindi po ako galit kay Louie Di Maala. Yun po ang aking
the difference between the person and the position.
Ipinapakita sa kanila, kasi pag trabaho na po ang pinag-usapan, magagalit po ako sa kanila. May stress po ako sa kanila. Kung kailangan kong ma-stress at sumigaw para lang i-emphasize ang mga bagay na dapat namin gawin, gagawin ko po yan. Pero hindi po ako galit doon sa tao, personally.
Pag naka-civilian, wala. Pag naka-uniform, meron.
Even if naka-uniform sila, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, the kind of job, the kind of performance na ginagawa nila doon sa mga tasking.
And that's anger management.
That's anger management, if I may say that so. And again, kailangan lang nating i-manage. We have to balance between how you will handle the stress of your work and how you will handle those individuals na nandyan sa environment ng iyong ginagalawan. Of course, marami diyang stakeholders, maraming tao, kailangan mong i-balance eh. Kailangan mong ipakita sa kanila na kung sino ka. Kailangan mong ipakita sa kanila kung ano ang kakayanan mo. Or else, it will reflect sa kind of job, sa kind of accomplishment na mangyayari at magagawa ng iyong mga personnel, ng iyong unit.
Ano ba yung marching order when the post was given to you 7 months ago? What was the marching order? If merong tall one, ano yun from the mayor?
Well, for me, the marching order is to ensure the safety and security of Davao City. Very broad. Very, should I say,
Tall?
very tall, very challenging. After that, I happened to, scan the operational environment, and I have, I visit places in Davao City, and that tall challenge was complemented by what I saw on the ground. In fact, R. Castillo from Lanang to Agdao, that challenge was complemented by a small number of Task Force Davao personnel. I told myself, how can I protect Davao City when in fact we cannot even reach, even if we extend our arms all together, we cannot reach from that point of R. Castillo in Lanang to Agdao. How can I do that? How can I perform my job? In fact, kakaunti po kami. So the challenge, and I am still doing it, is to collaborate, cooperate with the different local government units, departments, the law enforcement agencies. Wherein, sa ngayon, makakasabi na po tayo na for the past 7 months, I believe with the help of the community, the Davaoenos, we have already put a physical and psychological barrier in Davao City, specifically in downtown Davao City, because of the collaboration, cooperation, and coordination that your Task Force Davao has been doing from the start up to this point. And we are always extending, developing this cooperation and collaboration in partnership with all our stakeholders. We cannot do it alone. We need the help, we need the support, we need the cooperation of everyone. Security is not just a concern of the security
One
forces.
sector.
It's everybody's concern. Hence, we need to collaborate, we need to cooperate. That's why I made mention about the physical and psychological barrier we had in place in Davao City, just to ensure its protection. That's just to ensure the safety and security of Davao City.
Pasa mong pagbalik ito na, mo sa ba yung culture of security sa Davao City? Murag nahimo naman yung libro, no? Unsa ba na yung ginayang physical and psychological barrier? Unsa ba yung ginayang collaboration? Unsa man ang role sa community sa kanang ginayang word na collaboration? Sa among pagbalik.
Ang mga taong dunay mga ginahambin nga mga grabing mga balatian o comorbidity, hilabi na ang mga senior citizen, sila ang mas delikado nga maigo sa coronavirus disease COVID-19. Busa dubling pag-amping ang himuon og tambali ang mga ginahambin nga mga sakit. Ang pagtumar sa Bilonga Gold Herbal Capsule is a food supplement makatabang aron mapunggan nga musamot ang mga balatian. Turmeric uluyang dilaw ang nagunang sagol sa Bilonga Gold. Gisagulan og sodium ascorbate o vitamin C aron mas mulig-on ang immune system. Ang Bilonga Gold Herbal Capsule mapalit sa mga butika.
Welcome back. Sa among pagbalik karon, istoryahan nato. Daghan og issues ang TF Davao. Daghan siya ng collaboration, we need to collaborate because we need to coexist, no? Kailangan nila pumunta sa community to deal with the people, and to be with the people is you need to be one sa kanila. May iba lang ako. May issue sa TF. Huwag ka magalit. Nangingi daw sa checkpoint. Yung mga dumadaan. How do you take that?
Well, may mga naririnig ako na mga ganyang issue sa Task Force Davao. In fact, pag may mga naririnig ako, kahit kaunting usok lang, pinupuntahan ko agad at personally kong ina-address. In fact, binibigyan ko ng emphasize yung mga panghihingi. Sinabi ko nga sa kanila na pag may narinig ako na kahit na kaunting usok, I will not hesitate to terminate, to discharge iring individuals, iring personnel of Task Force Davao. Kasi ayaw kong mabahidan ng masamang gawain yung magandang imahe ng Task Force Davao na naipundar ng aming mga predecessors.
Ilang instances na ba pumunta ka doon para i-check mo to?
Almost every day. Hindi ko lang masabi na every day, but in a week, kuminsan nakakadalwa, nakakatatlong beses tayong mag-ikot.
Ilan na po ba yung na-fire? Ilan na po ba yung na-reprimand for that?
Actually, may napa-terminate na po ako na 4.
In 6 months?
Yes po. In fact, may mga recommendations na ako na ipinoroward sa higher headquarters for those iring individuals.
What are the offenses?
I have to cleanse. I have to cleanse the task force. We have to have that sense of credibility.
Yeah.
We have to have that sense of credibility para nang sa ganun ma-enforce namin kung ano ang aming mandato. Or else, babalikan kami. In fact, every now and then, natutuwa nga tayo na may mga taong nagre-report. May mga taong nagpapaabot sa atin ng information. And from there, ibinabalidate pa naman natin yan. Nagkakandak tayo ng mga investigation. And pag napatunayan talaga natin, again, nagre-recommend tayo for their termination and for their discharge. Nasabi ko na nga kanina na meron na tayong pina-terminate na 4 na individual. Meron pa tayong inire-recommend ngayon for demotion sa
Ilan?
enlisted personnel. In fact, meron akong nire-recommend ngayon na 1 for demotion and 1 for reprimand for not doing their job well. Meron din tayong kailangan na nating ipa-transfer kasi mas matagal na sila rito. Medyo over-familiarity na sa area na nakaka-hamper na.
Nakaka-breach na.
Nakaka-breach
Policy.
na ng mga pulisiya. So we have to have that sense of integrity in ourselves. We have to have that sense of commitment in ourselves. That's why from the start, I made sure na i-cleanse talaga natin itong task force na to. To ensure na yung credibility again and the image of Task Force Davao is protected, preserved, para nang sa ganon, yung aming mandato, dire-diretso naming magawa dito sa Davao City.
Sinabi mo kanina, wala pang masyado accomplishment. Pero parang third day, second day mo ba yun na may na-flag down no, sa Lasang? So what did it give you? Kasi from Pakibato, ubiya yung bumundo mo sa Davao. So the second day of your tour of duty, nasa Lasang ka. And that was loads of cookie of shabu. So ano yung nag-transform sa'yo? Naggalit ka ba? Or did it tell you na, this is it, ito yung work ng Task Force Davao. Hindi lang counter-terrorism, but even the campaign against illegal drugs.
Actually, even before I assumed as the Commander Task Force Davao, pinag-aralan na po natin kung ano ang meron sa mandato ng Task Force Davao. We are on to anti-terrorism and counter-terrorism. And we have to support our law enforcement agencies in their campaign against criminality and anti-drugs. We are the ones in our border control points. It is our job to help other law enforcement agencies in doing their job. Natuwa tayo dahil nga sa mga ibinigay ng mga predecessors natin, yung pundasyon na iniwan sa atin ng ating mga predecessors, gumagana. Nagkakaroon ng epekto yung sistema in place. In fact, I made mention on one of my speeches na yung concept na ginagawa ng Task Force Davao ngayon, we owe it to all our predecessors. The culture of security is one. It is so solid na tipong maghahanap ka na lang ng butas at takpan mo yung butas na yan. We have to find that gap. And sa mga pag-iikot ko, doon natin nakikita yung mga gap. In fact, hindi nga lang siguro nakita before, but nakapag-put up na tayo ng additional fixed checkpoints. Wherein previously, meron lang 3 ang Task Force Davao. Ngayon po, meron na tayong 5 fixed checkpoints and 1 random checkpoints sa mga sa mga borders natin dito sa Davao City. We put up the Malagos,
ito ba yung,
the Eden, and then the Mahayag na random checkpoints. Over and above sa 3 main checkpoints natin, which is the Lasang, Lacson, and the Sirawan.
So itong Riverine, bago, it's a sea patrol or it's a sea control point? Ano ba yun?
Yes.
Hindi ako familiar.
Yes.
Ano siya? Bago siyang word. Kasi usually TF yung place. Ito yung bakit iba yung pangalan niya.
Nung ini-scan natin yung operational environment, tinitingnan natin kung nasan yung gap. Nakita natin yung gap dito sa Davao Gulf. Very vulnerable ang Davao City.
Entry point.
Entry point, utilizing Davao Gulf, passing through Davao River. During that time, that was last year, when I conceptualized that thing, wala pa kaming training. Wala kaming kagamitan. In fact, nagko-conceptualize ako na tipong sa mind ko lang, and immediately nagpakandak ako ng training, yung Riverine Orientation Operation Training. Kasama natin dito ang ating Davao City Police Office. Natapos sila habang gumagawa kami ng paraan na magkaroon kami ng floating asset. Good thing, ngayong January, naging available na yung floating asset natin, and immediately naglagay tayo ng Riverine Patrol Base at the heart of Davao City, in particular dito sa Barangay Bukana, sa may SIR, na kung saan ang kanilang trabaho ay mag-conduct ng checkpoint operation sa lahat ng mga vessels, sa lahat ng bangka na pumapasok, utilizing Davao Gulf, passing through Davao River, papasok ng Davao City.
May history ba na dumaan
Well,
sa mga waterways natin, sa Davao River?
Based on history will tell us, just like in Bohol, Abu Sayyaf Group used waterways para makapasok sila doon sa gitna ng Bohol. Good thing, ang tao sa Bohol, merong culture of security, nag-report kaagad, kaya na-prevent. Dito naman sa Davao City, may mga information kami na nakakalap na previously, ito yung dinadaanan ng mga kontrabando papasok sa Davao City. Again, unhampered from Davao Gulf, passing through Davao River, going to the heart of Davao City. Kaya nga po ngayon, natutuwa po ang pamunuan ng Task Force Davao kasi nakikita na po natin ang epekto at impact ng ginagawa natin. In fact, natutuwa po ang local government unit ng Davao City sa atong inisyatibo. Busalagi, nagapasalamat ang atong halangdong Mayor Inday Sara Duterte sa inisyatibo o sa effort ng Task Force Davao na magbutang ng patrol base diha dapit sa Davao River. Aron ma-deter, matward, ma-prevent ang pagsulod ng mga dautan pinaagi sa Davao River.
One last question from my end. How do you describe your collaboration with the multi-sectoral community, with the porous culture of Davao people?
We have this, I find it so warm, so friendly, so, should I say, cordial. So, it's, for me, hindi po ako nahirapan na makipag-usap sa lahat ng stakeholders. Hindi po ako nahirapan. It's because, again, because of my previous assignments na alam ko ang kultura ng Davao, alam ko yung even the manner how they speak, how they talk to people, even yung pakikisalamuha. Somehow medyo may alam po tayo and ibinabalik din naman natin sa kanila. Hindi po nahirapan ang Task Force Davao para collaborate sa mga lahat ng ahensya, even sa non-government organizations, even businesses, business communities, even the youth sector, even transport sector. In fact, recently, nagkaroon po kami ng awareness and campaign ng ating culture of security sa transport sector. In fact, lahat po ng bus operators, even bus drivers, conductors, inspectors, and even van operators, pinuntahan na po natin yan, kinausap natin, and we propagated and advocated the culture of security, specifically sa mga drivers and conductors, kasi alam namin na makakatulong sila sa ating kampanya laban sa terorismo. Sila kasi yung lumalabas ng Davao City, nanggagaling sa south, sa north, sa iba't ibang region. Sila yung babalik dito kung saan daladala nila yung mga commuters para matulungan tayo ng mga transport sectors. Kinausap natin and pinakausapan natin at sinabihan natin kung ano ang pwede nilang maitulong. In fact, maganda ang reception sa atin ng transport sector, ng bus company and van operators dito
May
sa
threat
Davao.
ba sa Davao at this point in time?
At this
Hindi
point,
pwedeng sabihin, okay lang kami. Pero may threat ba? Then it's your time, talk to the people because araw ng Davao is in the offing. What is the preparation?
sa pagkakaroon, karong buntaga, wala ta po tayo direct threat sa Davao City. Ang threat sa karon, gikan pa sa gawas sa Davao City, particularmente dito sa Central Mindanao. Of course, wala na tayo threat sa communist terrorist group, sa mga NPA na nagalihok kaniadto dito sa Kalasangan sa Pakibato. Kay katong niaging 17 January, ni-surrender na sila tanan. Sa pagkakaroon, ang atong threat na gibantayan, gikan na lang sa local terrorist group na gikan sa Central Mindanao. Busa lagi ang among mandato na patuloy makipag-coordinate, makipag-collaborate labi na jud sa mga intelligence community na nakabutang dito dapita. Dito sila naka-assign. In fact, every now and then nakikipag-communicate tayo sa kanila and kasama nating ina-assess ang situation dito sa Davao City. Sa karon, patuloy ang focus military operation ng inyong 6th Infantry Division sa Central Mindanao, Busalagi. May mga recent development kung diin na naanay mga commander ng local terrorist group na napatay sila. Unya, na ay nag-splintered na ang ilahang mga grupo. And sa patuloy na engage ng ating mga government forces, nababawasan ang kanilang puwersa at napipreventan ang pagpaplano. Of course, we are not lowering our guards down. Hindi po kami nagkukumpiyansa. We still continue to strengthen, to enhance the security measures in place in Davao City. In fact, patuloy po naming hinihigpitan, padayon namog gipahugot, ang labi na jud ang atong mga border control points kung diin dito sila po pwedeng makasulod din sa Davao City. Patuloy nating pinalalakas ang pakikipag-ugnayan sa iba't ibang komunidad dito sa Davao City, lalong-lalo na sa mga vulnerable sectors, sa ating mga Muslim communities kung saan doon sila po pwedeng dumapo, doon sila po pwedeng mag-refuge or should I say pumasok at mag-seek shelter dito sa mga community ito. Patuloy nating binomonitor yung presensya ng lahat ng grupo ng local terrorist groups dito sa Davao City. Ang amo lang tumong, ang amo lang auhag sa inyong lahat, ang inyong suporta, kooperasyon at koordinasyon sa inyong security forces kinahanglan jud. Kinahanglan namo ang inyong tabang pinaagi sa culture of security na i-volunteer ang inyong kaugalingon sa pagpag-inspect sa atong mga security forces labi na jud sa mga border control points nato. Dako jud ang inyong maitabang. I-report ang tanan na mga tao na murag naay dautan na himuon dinhi sa Davao City. Ug i-report sab ang mga butang na murag unattended bisag asa. Kay aron mahimo namo magawa namin ang aming mandato na makareact kami ng maayos. Palihog pod ko remind sa atong mga loved ones, sa atong mga friends, sa atong mga neighbors, kung diin kung gusto nilang mo anhid diri sa Davao City na aduna tay hugot nga culture of security na gipatuman aron sila makabantay, aron sila makapag-andam. And sa tanan, giawhag nako na mag-participate kung adunay mga forums, security preparations na kinahanglanon, mag-participate ta, and samahan natin ang ating security forces nang sa ganon ma-ensure nating lahat ang safety and security ng Davao City. Usbo nako, dili po kaya ng inyong security forces, dili kaya ng Task Force Davao o ng Davao City Police Office. Kinahanglan po ng security forces ang inyong tabang. Dako jud ang may tabang ninyo sa Davao City. Pinaagi sa atong culture of security.
This is the official house of Task Force Davao. Kung asa nahimutang ang Biblia sa culture of security sa Davao City. Kung gusto ka nga limpyo, malinawon ug organisado ang imong komunidad ug gwapo ang imong pagkatulong. Sundo nato ang ginaingong culture of security. If you want to live in peace, if you want to live with peace, start it in your own community. You must be a collaborator for us to attain the peaceful city and for all of us to live in harmony with the world. I am Edith Caduaya. Good day.